Iran is going dark again. As streets erupt in protest and anger spreads across cities, the regime is tightening its grip on information. The internet is being cut. Phone networks are throttled. And now, the battle has moved to space. With state controls choking Iran's digital lifelines, protesters are turning to an unlikely tool. Elon Musk's Starlink satellite internet system has become a last remaining window to the outside world. Through it, Iranians are uploading raw videos of nightly demonstrations and violent crackdowns, images that would otherwise never leave the country. But Tehran is fighting back. Iran is now tracking down protesters using Starlink. This comes hours after Iranian authorities intensified efforts to jam Starlink signals, treating the technology as a battlefield threat. According to digital rights experts, the interference is most severe in protest hotspots. Disruptions spike at night, precisely when demonstrators gather in large numbers. It's electronic warfare, says Amir Rashidi of the Meon Group, a US-based nonprofit tracking censorship. He says the regime is actively hunting Starlink users, confiscating satellite dishes and tracking signals. Over the weekend, security forces began door-to-door searches in western Tehran. Starlink terminals are illegal in Iran. Anyone caught with one faces arrest, interrogation, or worse. That has forced users into extreme secrecy. One Tehran resident, speaking to Wall Street Journal via a crackling Starlink connection, said he uploads videos taken by relatives. He then sends them to trusted contacts abroad, who publish them on social media. He says people with Starlink never reveal who they are or where they operate from. This information war comes as Iran shuts down most internet access for its 90 million citizens. The blackout followed mass protests triggered by a devastating economic crisis. Demonstrators are now openly chanting for the end of the regime. Phone calls are failing. Text messages are delayed or blocked. Only government institutions and regime loyalists retain full access. Diplomats say those users are registered on a government whitelist of approved internet addresses. State media continues to broadcast uninterrupted. Independent voices remain silenced. In official messages sent Sunday, authorities urged citizens to trust only state-linked outlets. One text promoted the Mehr news agency tied to security services. Another called people to join a pro-regime rally at Tehran University. The message accused the United States and Israel of fueling unrest. It urged public loyalty as protests spread to dozens of cities. Meanwhile, Starlink dishes are being smuggled into Iran at great risk. Some arrived by boat from Dubai. Others cross land borders through Iraqi Kurdistan. They began appearing in larger numbers after the 2022 protests. That was when Elon Musk said SpaceX would seek sanctions exemptions to activate terminals. Since then, Starlink has remained a digital lifeline under constant threat.
Iran has now crossed a new digital red line, deploying military-grade jammers to shut down satellite internet, cutting off Starlink, and choking what protesters once believed was their final escape from silence. Iran's internet blackout enters dangerous new territory as satellite signals fall, dissent is crushed, and a global power struggle moves into orbit. Iran's sweeping digital blackout has escalated dramatically, with reports confirming the use of military jamming technology to disrupt access to Elon Musk's Starlink satellite network. This development is being described by digital rights monitors as a game changer, removing what activists viewed as their last reliable Plan B connection when domestic internet services are shut down. According to Iran Wire, despite claims that tens of thousands of Starlink terminals are operating inside Iran, the blackout has now extended into satellite connectivity itself. Initial disruptions reportedly affected around 30% of Starlink's uplink and downlink traffic, before surging beyond 80% within just a few hours. The Times of Israel reports that Starlink receiver deployment inside Iran is now far greater than during previous nationwide blackouts. This is happening despite the Iranian government never authorizing Starlink to operate, making the possession and use of the service illegal under Iranian law. Starlink receivers rely on GPS signals to locate satellites, and Iran has increasingly targeted those signals since its 12-day conflict with Israel last June. By disrupting GPS, authorities are able to localize shutdowns, creating a patchwork of connectivity where some districts experience total satellite blackout, while others retain limited access. This has led to near-total communications silence in several high-profile urban areas, according to monitoring groups tracking real-time data loss. Amir Rashidi of the Mian Group says he has studied internet access and censorship for more than 2 decades, yet has never witnessed anything comparable. Monitoring of Starlink data packets confirms a sudden collapse in satellite traffic, reinforcing reports from inside Iran that even space-based connections are being aggressively targeted. Experts warn this represents a fundamental shift in how authoritarian states suppress dissent, extending censorship beyond borders and into orbit. Simon Migliano, who has compiled a comprehensive report on global internet shutdowns, describes Iran's current blackout as a blunt instrument designed to crush resistance. He says the regime's desperation is evident, noting that this so-called kill switch comes at a staggering economic cost. According to Migliano's analysis, Iran loses an estimated $1.56 million every hour the internet remains offline. Overnight, NetBlocks confirmed Iran's blackout has now exceeded 60 hours, with national connectivity stuck at just 1% of normal levels. The crisis has now drawn attention from Washington. U.S. President Donald Trump says he will speak directly to Elon Musk about sending Starlink connectivity to protesters inside Iran. Speaking to reporters, Trump said restoring internet access may be possible, adding that Musk is uniquely capable of making it happen. Trump said he would call Musk immediately after the press interaction, signaling potential U.S. involvement in bypassing Iran's digital blockade.
Are you going to send Starlink to Iran, sir, to help the people in the ground with the internet blackout for more than 72 hours?
We're going to be talking about that. We may get the internet going, if that's
Are
possible.
you talking to Musk
We
about
may
it?
speak to Elon, because as you know, he's very good at that kind of thing. He's got a very good company, so we may speak to Elon Musk. And in fact, I'm going to call him as soon as I'm finished with you.
Just quickly, Iran said that they would consider military and commercial bases as legitimate targets if you struck. Are you concerned about...
If they do that, we'll consider things targets that they wouldn't believe. If they do that, we will hit them at levels that they've never been hit before. They won't even believe it.
Do you think
I have options that are so strong. So, I mean, if they did that, it'll be met with a very, very powerful force.
Do you think Iran takes your threats seriously?
I think so. Don't you think so, CNN? Don't you think so? Wouldn't you say that they probably do at this point? After going through it for years with me, being hit, Soleimani, al-Baghdadi, the Iran nuclear threat wiped out. Don't you think, and then you just had Venezuela, don't you think, she says, CNN, do you think they take your threat seriously? Wouldn't you say they do after all of the things we've done? What a stupid question. Well, no, they're starting to, it looks like, and there seem to be some people killed that aren't supposed to be killed. These are violent, if you call them leaders, I don't know if they're leaders or just they rule through violence. But we're looking at it very seriously. The military is looking at it, and we're looking at some very strong options. We'll make a determination. Well, if they do that, we'll consider things targets that they wouldn't believe. If they do that, we will hit them at levels that they've never been hit before. They won't even believe it. I have options that are so strong. So I mean, if they did that, it'll be met with a very, very powerful force.
Meanwhile, Iran's reformist president, Masoud Pezeshkian, adopted a hardening tone in a Sunday interview amid nationwide protests challenging Iran's theocracy. The Iran president said, "We should resolve people's concerns, but the higher duty is not to allow a group of rioters to come and destroy the entire society."
We ask our dear people, as we have before, to gather in their neighborhoods and not allow these individuals to create chaos. The people must remain present on the ground. If people have concerns, it is our duty to address those concerns. But the higher duty is not to allow a group of rioters to come and destroy the entire society. I acknowledge the concerns of our dear people, perhaps 80 or 90% of them, and I firmly assure them that we are making every effort to resolve these concerns. We will emerge from this crisis just as we are currently addressing various imbalances and doing so rapidly, despite all the sanctions being imposed. And those individuals who come and deliberately create fatalities, who kill innocent people on the ground and set things on fire, this is something that cannot be accepted. We ask our dear young people who have reached their own conclusions, rightly or wrongly, not to be deceived by these agitators and terrorists. This country belongs to us. They do not want the dignity and pride of this land. During the 12-day war, Israel and the United States tried to bring us to our knees, but they failed because the people did not allow it. These are not protesters, they are violent agitators. We accept protesters and we acknowledge their concerns. We are making every possible effort to address those concerns. We ask our dear people to stand firmly against those who are violent agitators and who are damaging public property. What wrongdoing has a shop owner committed that his shop should be set on fire? We will also look into their problems and provide assistance. Protest is the right of the people, and we are obliged to respond to their protests. But unrest and attacks on public places, setting fire to mosques, burning the Book of God, this is clearly a plan by the United States and Israel. The people can see it. This is Israel speaking of humanity, while at the same time inflicting such suffering on human beings.